gotta at the same time. Yes, it connected. Hey guys, Andrew James Photography. Salut la gang. Glad to see you all. Mes beautés, my lovelies. I'm here tonight with Mark Alari. You know him well from the photo reviews from the Facebook group. And a good friend of mine from the Bière et Camera Montréal group in Montreal, Rakim.
Salut, salut.
Rakim, how's everybody doing?
Doing great. Doing
Doing
great.
Yeah.
fine.
And how's your summer been?
Well, we're gonna let Rakim there go in first.
Oh my goodness.
The
Well,
pressure is on.
where do I begin? I guess beginning of summer, I spent just gaining back my composure after because last September I actually did lose my apartment in a fire. So
Oh,
I've been trying to get back in the swing of things and uh,
Did you lose any equipment or films or?
I lost a few things, but most of my main cameras are were safe because it was literally the first thing I grabbed when the fire started seeping into my apartment. So I did lose like a couple, like some flashes and some negatives, but what can you
Oh,
do?
wow.
Yeah, yeah.
we're sorry to hear about this, friend. So,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
thank you. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone because
no.
it's really tough to deal with. But no, this summer I really wanted to kick myself and you know what to like distract me from that. And I've done a lot of photo shoots. I've done a lot of like networking events, a lot of model shoots, street shoots and
Yeah, I've
whatnot.
been following your Instagram. You're pretty big into the portraits.
Yeah, I mean I always love taking pictures of people like, you know, genre c'est portrait là, normal là, comme
Yeah.
Mais yeah, no, it's been crazy. Like I just been putting my head down and just taking photos constantly, not thinking too much about the results or what people think. Just been doing it for the sake of me, really. So
Fantastic. Fantastic.
yeah.
How about you, Mark? How you been? How was your summer?
Well, first of all, I'll say hi to everyone. And si je regarde un petit peu le panneau des participants, on a, là, c'est ça, je suis pas sûr, c'est marqué Not Joined Six. Alors, t'as Uncle Bob, je pense, qui est loin ou quelque chose comme ça, qui nous regarde peut-être à distance. Là, il faudrait regarder. En tout cas, je suis pas trop sûr, AJ. Je pense que tout le monde est là qui est supposé d'être là.
Ouais.
On va checker ça, puis tout le kit. Ben, écoute, moi, j'ai comme pris des vacances, j'ai comme purgé, lâché un petit peu la photographie pour me ressourcer. De temps en temps, je sortais la caméra pour prendre des photos ici et là. J'ai testé beaucoup d'affaires sur Photoshop avec des nouvelles affaires qui avaient sorti. J'étais en retard sur mon système d'ordinateur qui ne me permettait pas de, de fonctionner à plein niveau avec Photoshop parce que mon ordinateur n'était pas assez puissant. Alors là, j'ai été mis à jour. Et j'ai commencé une chambre noire tranquillement. Alors, je suis en train de tout bâtir ça. Là, je suis pas mal au niveau où ce que je vais faire mes premiers tests pour voir que tout marche bien. Mais j'ai assemblé tous les petits morceaux pour réussir à faire ça. Là, je sais pas, est-ce que Rakim est à l'aise en français, en anglais?
Ouais, moi je suis correct avec les deux là.
Ah, super. Bon, mais là,
Ouais.
on va faire ça comme on fait d'habitude. On saute en anglais, en français. On fait du franglais et alors, tout le kit. Alors, moi, c'est à peu près ça, là. Prochaine étape, c'est tester la chambre noire pour imprimer, printing l'expression des photos. C'est la première étape que je veux tester, voir, parce que j'en ai pas fait depuis le cégep. Puis malheureusement, le gros problème avec le cégep, c'est quand on veut faire, on n'a pas l'argent qui veut suivre avec nos goûts. Alors, caméra, c'était un Pentax K1000 qui m'avait été passé par le cégep. qu'on est obligé malheureusement de remettre à la fin de la session. Puis il fallait être sur une liste pour l'emprunter avec d'autres étudiants. Alors, c'était partagé. Mais j'avais beaucoup aimé cette expérience-là. Puis j'ai été chanceux là, que quelqu'un a cogné à ma porte puis m'a dit, bon, mais voilà une base de chambre noire pour te recommencer. Puis si t'aimes ça, mais là, tu t'équiperas avec le reste. Alors là, on m'a commencé à demander à mes amis sur le site de AJ à peut-être me donner des conseils parce que malheureusement, j'en ai oublié pas mal.
I got one for you straight off the bat.
Ouais.
Mark, how many rolls of film do you have to develop in the dark room?
Ah, none.
We got to get you started in shooting film.
Ben oui, mais c'est ça. Mais là, écoute, quand il y a certains films qui vont sortir, on va pouvoir au moins essayer l'équipement pour voir s'il y a quelque chose qui ne marche pas bien avec. Moi, je pense pas. Tout a de l'air d'être fonctionnel. Là, c'est d'essayer de faire là, les mouvements comme il faut. Là, j'ai une question tout de suite pour tout le monde. Qui utilise le système iPhone, iPad? Est-ce que vous utilisez ça?
Yeah.
Non.
Non? Toi,
Oh,
AJ, tu avais un iPhone, me semble.
yeah, I'm pretty much iPhone, yeah.
OK.
Pour quelle
La
raison?
raison pourquoi ma question, c'est que je suis tombé sur une application sur un iPad qui y gère et simule un timer d'agrandisseur, un enlarger timer.
Oh, wow.
Puis c'est supposé de fonctionner avec une plug que tu peux acheter
Oh,
comme si tu veux un Wi-Fi plug, comme si tu veux gérer une lumière dans une maison avec ton iPad. Alors,
when you got the light the dark room, did it not come with a graph lab?
non,
A graph lab timer?
j'ai un petit timer. Il faudrait que j'aille ressortir le nom. Il est de base et c'est qu'en d'autres mots, c'est une roulette qu'on tourne
Ouais.
puis qu'on
Hmm.
pèse sur un bouton pour faire le déclenchement. Puis on ramène la roulette complètement à gauche, puis on pèse sur le bouton pour faire le focus.
Well, no, the focus switch just what it does is it turns the enlarger on
Yes,
without the timer so that
yes,
you can do your focus. Then
yes.
you turn the focus back on to time. But is it a big black clock?
No.
Example, what I'm saying is, hold
No,
on.
I know what you call the Gray Lab.
Yeah, that's the
No, I
Gray
don't
Lab
have that.
timer.
C'est ça. I'd have to go look at the name of it, but it's a very old timer.
Well, I have plenty, hold on, plenty images. Give me this. Share this. This is the one I'm talking about. It should come up any second. It should be up now.
Oh,
The
No.
graph lab. This is the traditional graph lab or gray lab, sorry, timer that we used to use in the dark room in school. And I must have about for my 8 stations, I probably got about 10 of these things. I can give you one of them.
Okay, well, that would be appreciated because right now I'm trying to find
T'en as d'autres qui sont plus numériques. You know, like I've got another it's not a gray, is it a gray lab? I don't think it's a gray
because I
lab.
know I gave you one when we went for a breakfast once,
Yeah,
you,
that's the one
Leo,
I'm
and
using
I.
now.
Puis that was it. Mais là, c'est ça, là, I'm trying to find the picture of the one that I have.
Okay.
It's a good little timer, except it's limited because you put it at the mark where you want the example 10 seconds. Well, do you have 9.5 or 10.5 seconds? Well, it's estimated, it's not.
It's an écran. Yeah, but don't worry. Mark, you
Yes,
don't need precision to the tenth of a second,
yes.
right? I mean, I have the one, yes, and I'm keeping the one you gave me. I'm sorry that you lost that one. Okay. That one has tenths of a second, but typically in darkroom, you rarely go beyond 60 seconds.
No, no.
And if you do go beyond 60 seconds, you do it in cycles of 60.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because I
Because
was
typically,
looking at eventually forward in time using an f-stop printing technique where you're using f-stops to print. Supposedly it's easier to reproduce a picture and things like that. But you seem to be enjoying yourself. And yes,
Mark,
AJ, I will be starting slowly. I will
start
not go into
slow.
full computer generated.
Oh,
Yes. I've even got, and I one of the guys over here on the South Shore that I shoot large format with, he has his dark room is an 8x10 enlarger and a 4x5 enlarger.
Okay.
And I found this, it's some kind of a light analyzer that you put in place of the print, and it
Yes.
actually gives you the density of the paper to the point where the paper, evidently because it's emulsion, after a certain amount of time, the law of reciprocity invokes, and
Okay.
exposure can double and quadruple just to be able to get that type of to just to get the grain, not the grain, but the silver salt to absorb light,
Okay.
right?
oh.
And he says, AJ, yeah, I tried that thing, but it stayed in my cupboard for like 20 years.
Okay.
He
But is
says
it
it's
mostly
it's
used to give you a base exposure?
yes, for the paper. So
Okay.
you test the paper to see what's the latitude of the paper. When does it start to show light, and when does it stop showing light?
Okay.
But typically you don't need that.
No, no.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna
We
be
know very
slowly.
well between the three of us how scientific photography is,
Mm.
right? It's surtout avec le numérique aujourd'hui. Numérique is pushed. It's so freaking precise.
Yeah.
And I find that in the 12 years of giving classes, it's literally um not discouraged. It's distracted digital photographers, young photographers from the art of photography to the precision that we can attain with photography.
Yeah.
Precision is great if you're replicating something that's very objective. If you have an objective purpose because you're measuring time, you're measuring light, you're measuring something, the speed of something moving, that's one thing. But photography has always been 90% artistic.
Yes.
Of
And
course.
artistic is your interpretation of what you're shooting and what you're reproducing.
Yes.
It's like I tell a lot of people. I visit a lot of photo clubs, surtout sur la rive nord, sur la rive sud, puis sur l'île de Montréal. Et souvent, je suis demandé de faire des photo reviews pour les membres. And I'll be totally honest with you, it's extremely rare that I see any type of photo where ce sont des photos ratées. It might be 1.5% of all of the photography that I see,
Yeah.
because we got to understand that it's the photographer's interpretation of what they saw. It's not for me to reinterpret the photo that somebody already interpreted.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's up to me to give an opinion if I like it or not, but also to identify why I like it or I don't like it,
Mm.
right? It's
Yes.
at anyways, I don't want to go too far into the philosophy of photography, but
But I have a question about that. Do you
yeah,
feel
go
like
ahead.
it's more of a film thing versus digital thing, or is it more like for example, like do you feel people chase precision more with digital photography?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And you know what it is? It's not that they chase it, it's that they're programmed to chase it
All right.
by the companies themselves.
Uh,
Ask how many photographers have changed up their cameras because they want that 30 frames per second, that 120 frames per second, the
mm,
50 frames. When in the hell do you need 120 frames in 1 second? The only logic I could see about that is a sports photographer who's been hired by Spalding,
okay,
right?
yeah.
The manufacturer of basketballs or tennis balls or whatever.
Mm,
And when that tennis player, I'm just saying that because the US
Yes.
Open, wasn't it just not too long ago,
a
something
couple
like
weeks
that?
ago.
Mm-hmm.
When they hit the ball and the ball is spinning, the company wants to see the logo on the ball. That
Right.
would be the only reason why I would break a second down into 120 frames.
Right.
But other than that, that's not the purpose of the photo. The photo is to show his serve or his rebound, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't need 120 frames for that.
Oh.
I would see it in animal photography. An example, if you have an eagle diving to pick up something and you want that split image, maybe just when he grabs the bird or something like that, since everything is happening so fast.
Mm.
Yes, practice, eventually you might get that picture, but with the 120, it sort of gives you a faster or a bigger possibility of getting that picture, you know?
But the downside is your sorting
120 pictures that are no good.
becomes
Yeah.
immensely long,
So long.
right? I calculated when Abby was doing when she was doing her barrel racing competitions, her competition, that one competition, barrel racing, was between 26 and 28 seconds. At 120 frames per second, it's just under 5,000 photos.
Yeah, if you
For
machine
one,
gun.
for one competitor, for that one race. Now, if I have 30 competitors, 4 events, I'm not going to be delivering my first photo for another 6 months,
Yeah.
right?
No, but it's
And then
understood.
I'm so sorry. You guys brought me right into my rant on freaking AI. I
Oh
saw this
no.
freaking video
No.
on Facebook where this wedding photographer is bragging about 5,000 images for a wedding, and he uses the AI
To
to
cause
take to cull all of the
oh,
out of focus images, badly seriously, if you're shooting that many, and
Yeah.
listen, I'll be totally, j'étais déjà là en 2004 quand j'ai commencé à faire la photographie de mariage. Même mon oncle Bob, who's not here tonight, he's on vacation, but mon oncle Bob, his jaw hit the table when he heard that in my first weddings, I was shooting between 2,000 and 3,000 photos. He asked me, he says, what the hell do you do with 2,000, 3,000 photos? How many photos do you deliver? Well, I deliver 250 to the principal photographer. The photographer includes another 500. He cuts it down to maybe 400 or 500 photos, and he delivers that to the customer as the first selection. He says after the first 25 pictures, nobody's looking at the photos. And we're talking about the client. And it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. In the 20 years that I did my own, that I was doing wedding photography, when I was on my own, I was on my own for a couple of years. I still have at least 2 brides who never got back to me to give me their selection for their album.
Wow.
And sadly, they didn't give me carte blanche to make the album. And now 20 years later, it's like, you know what I
Jeez.
mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
We shoot too many photos for the wrong reasons. It's like now I had a customer come into my classroom cette semaine, puis il parlait justement de photos d'oiseaux. Puis lui, qu'est-ce qu'il adore avec sa nouvelle appareil photo, c'est que it has pre-burst.
Yeah.
So pre-burst, what it is because of the mirrorless cameras, we're constantly viewing it in video, right, through the viewfinder.
Right.
The moment you start actually triggering your shutter, that's when the actual full resolution image is being saved to the card, right? So the pre-burst, what it does is it keeps the first 3 or 4 frames from the moment you press the shutter. It keeps the 3 or 4, I think it's 3 or 5 photos before you press the shutter. But I believe it's only at the resolution of video, not the full resolution of the sensor.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Okay.
you have to be pressing the shutter to activate the photo sensor, not the video sensor.
Right.
But then I could be wrong. I'm not an engineer. I'm not
Hmm.
and he swears by the pre-burst because now he no longer has to be precise
Expected.
on the second that he shoots.
Right.
And my argument is, isn't it better and you'll screw up. You'll screw up probably for my daughter, she's 19 now. And I started photographing her when she was 6, when she started doing horseback riding. probably not 6, but 7 or 8 at least. And I got a lot of practice in. I had to get a lot of practice in to know when to fire. Actually, I don't know if you guys have, well, if you check it out, I think I put it on my, I don't know if, I think it's on Abby's Facebook or her Instagram. She might have published. Now what I do is I go around with my iPhone mounted onto the hot shoe of my camera when I'm doing her competitions. So I run the video on the phone while I'm shooting with my A3, sorry, my A7 III, which is really weird because now in the video you hear you hear my shutters going off as I'm shooting, which is a lot of
Can you
fun
turn
too.
off
But
the sound?
hey,
You should be able to turn off the sound.
no, well when I do when I actually edit the video later, I remove the sound.
No, but on the camera itself, do you have a way to silence it since it's not mechanical?
No, you don't want to do that
Yeah,
because if you do that,
you know.
you're actually deactivating the mechanical shutter.
Ah,
And
okay.
if you deactivate the mechanical shutter, all you're getting is the first shutter, which is the scan.
Yeah.
And that scan produces a lot of I
Not
consider it
distortion.
a lot, but it's called a rolling shutter,
Yeah.
Okay.
right? Where if you have very, very quick movements, ça devient saccadé
Okay.
et distorsionné. Look at on the look on Google, check for rolling shutter and airplane propeller.
Oh yeah. I've seen
Yeah,
that.
okay.
I've seen that
And what'll
actually.
happen is you'll get a space between the hub and the blades.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen that. Funny enough, I've actually seen that same effect with electric shutter using electronic shutter on les colibris, les
Hummingbirds.
oiseaux à mouche,
Hummingbird.
hummingbirds,
Yeah.
where there's a slight space. Oh, you can't see it because my damn camera keeps auto zooming on me. Hold on, let me get it back here. So you'll see a space actually in the shoulder, un petit vide on the rotary, the rotation of the wings and the bird itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I actually did have a customer come up to me and ask me, AJ, comment je dépasse la vitesse d'un 8 millième de seconde? And I was like, why in the hell would you want to even do that? Because electronic shutters today surpass 1/16,000th of a second.
Wow.
The fastest shutter I think now is 1/32 000 millième de seconde.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. But like, don't you find all these like advancements with these cameras, don't you find it like they kind of prevent the photographer from learning photography?
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
it's just I don't know, I just find it too much. Like,
But specifically the way that I teach also is I mean, I have two different types of customers. Okay. I have the customer, Monsieur, Madame, tout le monde, who comes into my store, purchases a camera for a couple $1,000s because they're going on vacation. The worst ones are the ones that are going on vacation tomorrow. And they come in for a 1-hour class for me to teach them photography, to teach them a camera.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And so at that point, what I usually do is my spiel is first of all, the worst mode in any camera to use is always and ever will be the automatic mode.
Mm-hmm.
My analogy is it's worse than a man because multitasking is not one of our strengths. And when you really, really, really look at it, we do have the attention span of a dog.
Yeah.
Right? An automatic mode in a camera is worse because it's trying to, il essaie de deviner qu'est-ce que vous voulez faire en travers le focal tu as choisi, puis qu'est-ce qu'il voit dans la scène, right?
Right.
And half the time the camera's wrong. Okay? So what I do tell them to do is that en termes de mode de dépannage, for a mode that would be, Mark, help me, dépannage.
Dépannage, ouais.
To get you out of trouble.
Yeah, c'est ça.
Okay. Basically, use the scene modes because at least the scene modes, you're telling the camera what kind of shot you want to shoot. Background blur, background sharpness versus freezing motion, figement de mouvement, or capturing motion, filet de mouvement. Okay, using either the sports, using the landscape, the portrait mode. But then after I've done that spiel, then we go into the actual aperture shutter and sensitivity, the light meter, how to brighten, how to darken your image, so on and so forth.
Right.
So at least they get both a little bit of automation, but at least you see the thing is that what I've discovered over the 12 years of teaching is that as a photographer, I tell the camera what I want. Everybody thinks, and Rakim, how long you been doing photography?
3 years now.
3 years? Mark,
Yeah.
you said you've been doing it for 8 years?
Yeah.
You prefer telling the camera what to do?
I'm always in manual mode, and going to the aperture priority mode. I've started using it for street photography lately because coming up on certain scenes, the time I put this setting in, and when I try to be la spontaneité,
Yeah.
I miss the shot.
Right.
So that's why I'm
Yeah, but
trying to get other modes, but you see,
but don't be discouraged by missing the shot. Missing the shot just means you weren't ready.
Yeah.
You weren't ready with the proper, whether it's depth of field or freezing of motion. And don't forget, we learn from our errors. We don't learn from success. Right?
because I keep repeating my success.
but you know what I mean? If we got the shots right every time, there's nothing to learn. Right?
No.
Yeah.
Now, in the beginning, yeah, you're gonna make mistakes, but and specifically me and Rakim doing a lot of, because we do film photography, evidently we leave ourselves much more latitude to make an error, but to get more or less what we want from it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the latitude of film is much, much bigger than that of digital photography, because digital photography has become so precise.
Yes.
I don't know how many times I tell people, we don't have thirds of stops. On my Nikons, my FTN has full stops. My Nikon F3 has half stops on the lens, but full stops on the shutter speed. All of my big manual camera, my old vintage cameras, like my Horseman 6x9 and my Nagaoka, the 4x5, you have stops of light. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? So we're only dealing with twice as much or twice as little light, depending on how many stops that we adjust it for. And there's nothing wrong with that. Right? Because in negative photography with the darkroom, we can always add or reduce light in the darkroom. It gets a little more complicated when we shoot slide, because evidently slide is basically film photography's digital photography. So we have to be more precise with slide, because we can't catch up. We can't correct an exposure error with slide because there's no darkroom. Right? The worst we can do is, if the slide is too dark, well, we brighten the projector. Right? And then that's about it. And evidently, and that's where that whole philosophy of expose for the highlights rather than exposing for the shadows.
Yeah.
Right? In film negative, we expose for the shadows to bring more detail into the shadows.
Overexpose.
Exactly. Because the film emulsion has a thickness. The sensor doesn't. The sensor is an electronic pixel that receives an amount of light and tells the processor how much light it received in that color. That's it. But a film emulsion contains, and when we talk about 400 ISO or 125, like HP5 plus is 400 ISO, FP4 is 125. That's a generalization of the majority of silver salts on the emulsion, but filling in the spaces between those 400 ISO grain are 1 ISO, 6 ISO, 16 ISO, 1600 ISO. That's for me where film photography is so much cleaner than digital photography.
Yeah.
Because the nuances from grays, the nuances of colors are so much more, they're softer, they're more welcoming. When you look at, I have a shot that I use in my classes a lot that I shot of my daughter when she was doing her homework. She was doing her homework and she's sitting at the kitchen table at my mother-in-law's and she's reading her iPad and the only light on her face is that of the iPad. I shot the damn thing at 6400 ISO. And let me tell you, no noise, but sharp. Holy crap, is it sharp? Like you can see, and for me to shoot it at 6400 ISO, la lumière était vraiment tamisée.
Okay.
Right? Because I was still at an f4 and I think I shot it at because I was standing I wasn't even leaning against the wall at the time. I needed to get a shutter speed that I knew I would freeze her at, so I did like 1/125th. Well, I had to bring the ISO up to 6400.
Okay.
You could see the pores in her face. Tabarnan.
Oh,
Oh, wait.
I have a shot of HP5, HP5 400 ISO that I shot in the store where I had 5 times more light, and you can see the grain on the 35 millimeter frame.
mm.
See, that's the other notion too that we're so distracted from is we don't realize that digital photography comes from 35 millimeter film. Pas du 120, pas du 127, pas du 4x5, pas du 8x10, pas du 16x20. Because there are film sheets that you can get up to 20 by 24. That's a freaking big film.
Yeah.
It's a freaking big film. And you're talking about a 400 ISO. That's a lot of freaking grain in there. Now, if
Well,
I'm cropping that same image on a 35 millimeter frame, j'ai pas assez de grain.
uh,
So when we enlarge it to an 8 by 10 or to a 16 by 24, c'est sûr all we're doing is we're enlarging grain.
Yeah.
Une chose, Marc, que tu vas savoir, que tu vas apprendre, c'est que je pense qu'on s'est déjà parlé de tes équipements. T'as pas un petit microscope pour faire la mise au point sur le grain?
Oui, j'en ai un.
Okay. You will see the grain.
Yes.
You will see the grain in the film. It's amazing.
Yes.
Okay. Whether if it's a 1 ISO, whether it's a 400 ISO or a 3200 ISO, you will see the shape and the form of the grain.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I practice right now as I put in the color negative I had, and I tried focusing it and things like that. So it's
Yeah.
just to see how things were working and things like that. Rakim, what type of pictures do you take? Because basically, I'm learning to know you right now.
oh,
What's your pleasure?
definitely film at the moment. I love shooting portraits on film, especially. I actually did get a new camera this year that I wanted to show. I've been wanting to show it to AJ for a while now.
Yeah.
It's a Canon rangefinder
No way.
from 1957, the
Yes.
Canon VT Deluxe.
Fantastic.
And it's my absolute favorite. This lens is absolutely beautiful. It has a
You haven't brought it to the beers and cameras yet, have you?
no, I have not. The swirls on this thing when you shoot wide open, it's very
Yeah.
reminiscent of a medium format.
Yes.
Like it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I
Well, a lot of to be honest with you, a lot of the lenses from that era don't have multi coatings on them. Okay. That camera probably, you said it's from the early 50s?
1957.
1950s, so late 50s.
Yeah.
I think coatings only started being applied to the glass in the mid-50s. But
Okay.
all optics before that had no coatings.
So,
And as
Well,
a
I'm going
matter
to
of
ask a
fact,
question
in
before
the
you get too
30s and in
far.
the 40s,
yeah.
what sold lenses, believe it or not, because the manufacturing of glass, right?
Mm,
If the glass in itself is not to a certain purity,
mm.
and you get
Fungus.
contaminants like metals and stuff like that, it can create bubbles in the glass.
Oh.
And the very first lenses all had bubbles in the glass.
Huh.
So a lot of times, what we call bokeh, which is just the Japanese word for blur,
Mm.
okay? These little minuscule bubbles in the glass would create literally discs of light on the film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
it was sold as, they marketed it as being the characteristic of the lens.
Mm.
But it was actually a defect of the glass.
Okay.
Oh,
AJ, what
fascinating.
is multi coating? Sorry.
Multi-coating is that they use different types of metals that they coat the glass with, that actually, and you remember when I had my telescope shop,
That's what I wanted to ask you.
I have
When you
the le
Yeah.
sous vide.
wait,
I have this huge cloche, which is about 18 inches in diameter, on the interior measurement,
I
where
remember having to carry that.
I use very high voltage to melt and vaporize. In my case, for the mirrors, it was an aluminum coating that is microns thick,
Okay.
right? And then using different types of metals and different types of crystals, it allows light to pass either faster through the glass or retain, different coatings affect the light differently. Because the one thing you got to realize is that this comes from my experience, as with what I did polishing glass. In a lens, light's not just passing through the glass. Every element that you have in a photographic lens, light has to fill that surface and then
Mm.
pass to the next element, fill that surface, pass to the next element, fill that surface. So, and in telescopes, normally you only have 2, 3, or 4 elements. So
Okay.
it's a duplicate. It's a duplet, triplet, or quadplet, I think they call it. To correct for the light passing through the glass, so that either it passes faster, there's less color distortion, aberration chromatique,
Oh,
chromatic
right.
aberration.
Yeah.
Um, and diffraction of light comes from a poorly formed aperture, where the aperture is not completely concentric. And then what happens is, the light rays passing through after a certain aperture are not all measured at the same focus,
Right.
basically. Okay.
Uh,
I'm looking at it. I'm seeing it. I see he's got his Mamiya. That's your favorite, right?
I also got this summer as
Oh, did
well.
you?
Yeah.
But you
Uh,
had it. Didn't you have a Mamiya last year?
I had a Yashica last year,
Yashica. That's
a
right.
6x6.
That's a 6x6. Yeah.
Yeah. So I picked this up from Japan, actually. Well, ordered from Japan because I
Yeah.
couldn't find any here. And I got the 127 lens, which is like a
Lens.
short telephoto, like an
Yeah.
85, I believe.
Okay.
And man, the images are crazy, absolutely
Now,
gorgeous.
Mark, for you, that camera, the film is 6 centimeters wide
Okay.
and 7 centimeters long. Okay. That's how big the
Okay.
film is
Yeah,
compared to our 35 millimeter.
yeah,
Makes a beautiful contact sheet.
Yes, it does.
yeah. Oh, there he is.
So, Rakim,
Hmm.
you develop your own film.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
No,
Are you
I really
waiting?
want to. I really, really want to.
You're waiting for my workshop coming up there in November?
Yeah, might as well. Yeah.
Actually, J'ai vu deux de nos membres. I can't remember her name. My God, I can't remember. I'm so terrible with names.
Melissa?
Was it Melissa? I think it was. I think it's Melissa.
Yeah,
She lives down here on the South Shore.
yeah.
I think she was. Yeah, she was coming to pick up film for vacation. I think she's going to Europe.
Hmm.
And I was in the office of my director, and then I just turned around and she saw me and I said, "Oh my God." And she told me, she says when she gets back, it's gonna happen in November, the weekend of the 8th. It's
Okay,
a 2-day thing.
okay,
We shoot in the morning, we develop in the afternoon. The next morning, I show you guys how to digitize yourself and then how to process it
okay,
uh,
okay.
using different either iPhone or Lightroom.
Um, I'm thinking of picking up is it the Harman kit? Uh,
Yes, yes.
yeah, I am thinking of picking one up.
That's the best and most affordable kit because it actually comes with the first bundle of chemistry with it.
Okay, sweet.
So you
All
get
right.
the developer, you get the stop, the fix,
Yeah.
and the wash aid for 2 rolls.
Okay.
And the tank is good for 2 rolls at a time, or
Right.
one roll of 120.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
Um,
you'll be set up with between your 35
yeah.
and your Mamiya there. It's going to be perfect.
Is there anything else you recommend I pick up? Like any cities that
Later
develop?
on, so the kit comes with the Ilford Simplicity chemistry,
Okay.
which is basically the developer is the Ilfosol 3. Ilfosol is never been really considered the best of the best developers.
Hmm.
Um, my preference myself is probably Rodinol, which is the here in Canada is called Blazenol. And we sell it at Gosselin. It's like I think it's like $20 a half a liter.
Okay.
But let me tell you, you're good for 80 rolls of film.
AJ, can I ask you a question
Yeah.
right now? I was starting to research chemicals and things
Yep.
like that, and when I went on the site for Gosselin, I never found any.
For
Hmm.
what for the chemistry?
Yeah.
Search Blazenal. Hold on, let me get it up. Oh, that didn't sound good. Let me get let me get that link up.
Wow, that one went right over my head. Usually I have the radar for those ones. I'm the one who comes
Yeah,
back with the lousy jokes.
yeah. It's actually there you
Lesina.
go. Goose the Gus line 2 S's and 1 O. There we go. It is called Blazenol.
Yeah.
I'm
Mind
looking.
you, no, I shouldn't say anything. I'll probably get shit on Monday. Blaze. That's it. Blazenol with an A-L.
Oh,
Yeah, it says Blazin, and you're right, it doesn't show up on the website.
yeah.
Damn it. What? Let me try just shimmy.
J'ai même essayé
Oh,
dark
here we
blue.
go. Avec les, as if you where is it? Hold on, I'll get it for you. Okay, why are batteries coming up with chemistry and film coming up with chemistry? No, dumbass. Hold on.
Oh.
Just a sec.
No problem.
Well, this camera's following you? What the
Yeah,
heck?
I know. He's got it
It
well
actually, oh, did
trained.
it fall? Oh, damn! I forgot
So
to
I
take
was like,
off.
what's
I forgot to take off the active. Come here, track me. There you go. Come on,
Okay.
come on. There we go.
Oh,
And now,
God.
Rakim, there's my nature that goes. Why, AJ, there for a few seconds, we saw the better side of you.
Oh, great. Ah, this is the chemistry here that I'm talking about.
Oh, Blazing
Blazenal,
backing up.
and I even have the code. It's 8844006. The last time I purchased it was at 1999
Hmm.
for
But
a
you
half for a half a liter, and I last time I got like 83 rolls of 35 millimeter out of it
oh my goodness.
because you're only using. Well, it also depends on the recipe. The
Hmm.
recipe I use is one in 50, which gives you're using 6 milliliters per 300 milliliters of water.
So
That's
it'd
all
be
you're
12,
using
it
for the
would be
chemistry.
12 for making your mix then, because you usually mix for a liter.
No, this one here,
True,
this
you're
one
talking
here,
for
we're talking
developer,
film.
for film
Film.
developer,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not for
film.
printing.
Yeah, this one here is not for printing.
Okay.
Printing, I use the one that I'm using now is the
Ilford multigrade.
no, I found another one. Ilford has one called PG Universal.
Yeah, it's either both or it's one or the
One
other.
or the other. Yeah, exactly. The I think the PG Universal. I got it to try it because the one that I used to always use when I was in school was the multigrade. Because
Okay.
evidently I use multigrade paper from Ilford, so I use the multigrade developer. The PG Universal is a little bit more generic for other papers also, but it's also meant to be used with multigrade. So for
Okay.
those of you who don't know what multigrade means is that Ilford developed and Kodak also developed a system for developing to extend the exposure of your print so that you can manipulate the light through dodging and burning. It uses a number of gradiated filters that blocks light for the highlights or blocks light for the or increases light for the shadows using, if I'm not mistaken, it goes from yellow to magenta. And by putting that in the enlarger allows you to extend so that you can play around with certain areas of your photo and be able to properly dodge and burn.
Oh,
I mean, I'm giving you the basic definition of it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It goes a little deeper than that, but did the camera damn follow me again? Yeah, it did.
Yes.
And then of course, if I move too fast, it loses me. I gotta turn that off. Hold on. There you go. Now it stops.
Talk to the
If
head.
I use an AI, it says that what they don't do, Gosselin, is selling chemicals.
Come on.
Right now, an AI came back and they were telling me what Gosselin does and film developing, including services, digital output. But
Yeah.
what they don't do is sell chemicals.
No, we do sell chemicals. I don't know why the AI.
I've seen them.
I have a whole end dial just on the chemistry.
Is it possible that in Laval they don't, but in Le 1030 they do?
It's possible, but I think Laval and Montreal probably has the most variety in film. And also, well, mind you, they might not have a big section on the chemistry, but it's all worst comes to worst. What'll happen is if we have the chemistry, we'll ship it to Laval for you.
Okay.
You know, actually, Laval was the first store to use the Blazonal because of one of my old friends who used to work in Laval, Gaetan Cormier, who does actually work. I think he works now. I know he has his own lab for black and white photography, film development. Um, but he's the one who introduced me to Blazonal, and and the beautiful thing about this,
Hmm.
the last bottle I had lasted 3 years.
I was just gonna ask you that actually.
So there's literally the shelf life on this is there's
Crazy.
no shelf life,
So there's no expiry date. There's
no
no.
expiry date.
Oh
Do
wow.
you protect
And
it
and
somehow?
this is a recipe of chemistry from the 1830s. Okay? It's the same recipe that they're using today. Literally.
Amazing.
The problem with Ilfosol is that Ilfosol expires quickly.
Mm.
So Mark, if you when no, sorry, Rakim, you were talking about getting the kit, right?
Yeah.
So the chemistry is in a blister pack.
No.
Once you crack the blister pack, I would say you're better waiting to do 2 films at a time. So because the blister pack is good for 600 milliliters,
All right.
which is the capacity of the Patterson tanks. I don't
Yeah.
know if you see it. Will it? No, I gotta hold on. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Okay.
Okay.
Now I gotta see if this gesture is gonna work. Is it gonna follow?
Rakeem, what you see in the background right now in back of AJ is
Not
a
following. Damn
film that I have that he's supposed to develop
it.
in black and white.
3 years
If you
ago.
see one with a
Wow.
little paper on it, that's one of my films.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Okay, I see it, AJ.
It's a running joke that we have.
here. So this is a
Oh, wow.
600 mil. Oh shit.
Get the camera back, AJ. You've lost her.
Yeah, I got the ceiling. Hold on.
Going rogue.
I gotta reset it. Hold on.
It went ninja on you.
Yeah.
There he
So
is.
this tank is a
Okay.
600 mil. The
So
newer
he can,
tanks. Well, basically, this is what your tank. Well, you remember, didn't you?
yeah.
You did the development with me, didn't
Yeah,
you?
you told me.
When we did the first one? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say that with the specifically for the
The Ilford
Ilfosol.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, and the stop bath, don't throw it out. Don't
Okay.
throw out the fix.
Okay.
Once
Yeah.
you've mixed your fixer,
Yeah.
and the stop bath is good until it turns purple or pink,
Yeah.
and your fixer's good for, oh geez. I honestly I use my fixer for about 12 or 14 rolls.
Okay.
Okay.
And then he's
It's the
gonna have
Ilfosol is a one-shot use. That's why.
Mm.
then he's gonna have the what do you call it? Some people use soap basically to put it at the end to stop any
Yeah.
bubbles
Oh,
from
that's
sticking.
called, well,
Didn't we do that last time?
Kodak had it. It's called photo flow,
Yeah.
That's it.
and Ilford is called wash aid.
Okay.
Okay.
Now in the blister packs you get the wash aid.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
But Rakim, if you're cheap like I am, you'll get a drop of dishwashing soap.
Basically that's all it is.
If you want to get cheap for your
Mhm.
stop bath, you'll have a mix for using vinegar, household vinegar.
Yeah.
There's a recipe for that.
Whoa.
So that's why I try to get the old photographers, because they have these hidden recipes that can be used, and it's a way.
Mark, whatever you do, do not order the darkroom cookbook.
Okay.
It's an encyclopedia of chemistry recipes.
Yes, I've seen it on
It's
a video.
about this big. Okay. I've been told, unless you're a comfortable photographer in the darkroom, there is so many, like caffeinol, how to develop black and white film with coffee grounds
Yes, and vitamin C.
and vitamin C. Okay. Oh no, I'm telling you.
Oh.
Rakim, it's ridiculous. All the different chemistries and oh, it's amazing. Really, it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I
Okay.
sent you a recipe, AJ, with caffeinol.
Did you?
Yes, on the messenger a long time ago. I
Okay.
send it to Uncle Bob too, and things like that, because it's a curiosity. Yes, I will try. I'm gonna enjoy myself. But you
Honestly,
have some people who are mixing D76. You've got
oh
all
yeah, for
different
sure.
ones, all different ones. And take a look. I have this one also as almost same type as a Patterson kit,
Yeah.
Wow.
but it's made
Yeah,
for
those are the stainless
film.
steel. Those are they're a little bit different in loading,
Mhm.
but they're just as good.
They're
I
very
have,
hard to open too, so you
yeah, they
splash
are.
yourself with
Ouch.
See, attends, this is the, yeah. So this is the new version of the Darkroom Cookbook.
yeah.
You can get it on Amazon. I haven't seen one in the at shows, what's it called, Indigo, yet.
Good darkroom cookbook.
It's the Darkroom Cookbook. Okay, this one's been updated May 1st, 2025.
Wow, this
Mhm.
year.
Yeah, so this is the newest version. Obviously the hardcover is just not affordable. Yeah, à 276, 277 piastres là, c'est vraiment. But this is the book for darkroom for everything.
Mm.
It's one of it's the Bible basically when
Okay.
it comes to
Ever
when
get
it
your hands on a copy?
if I get a copy of it, it's going to be just to put it in my. I mean, I'll probably flip through it. But it's not a book you'd normally really read cover to cover.
No.
It's use it more like a kind of like an encyclopedia.
Right.
This is the fifth edition because this apparently covers every possible recipe of chemistry you need for the and I mean I got a lot of stuff over here like for instance I've got the whole set from Ansel Adams for the black and white right to the two books that he did on darkroom how to incorporate the zone system in the darkroom. I've got my basic and advanced books of photography from school. Thanks to my dad before he passed away, he found everything in the garage,
Okay.
you know. But yeah,
I
and
had
both
my hands on a teacher that used to work in McGill, and he used to teach photography in McGill.
yeah.
And he gave me some of his books and literature that was put away a long, long time ago, and I'm still looking through my stuff to try to find it.
Oh man.
Oh,
So, say you
oh,
put it
you
aside,
mean you
saying
mean
one day
chez
I'm going to
vous?
be using it, but
Yeah, yeah.
now I gotta find it. So,
So, Rakim, do you ever think you might set yourself up with a darkroom?
Hopefully. I mean,
Okay.
I don't have the facility, I don't think, for that yet, but I would absolutely love to have a dark room.
well, right in back of you, you have the facility. I'm seeing the room in back of you. You just set up a couple of tables there, and you're functioning.
Yeah. I
Actually,
mean,
no, go ahead, go ahead. Rakim, go
uh
ahead.
no, I was gonna say, like, is it that simple to set up? Like,
There's a gentleman in the States, his name is Andre Dominguez from he works for Cinestil.
hmm.
He literally built himself. I think he used a mechanic's chest on wheels as the table for the enlarger,
Oh wow.
and he literally wheels it into his bathroom.
I've seen the gentleman.
Does his dark room processing, and then when he's finished with it, he wheels it out. He puts it in like he's got like a little alcove with a curtain to cover up to hide it. You know what I mean?
I see.
I think the gentleman you're referring to, AJ, uses a metal table from a Sweden company that
Oh,
we
does it?
have with a blue logo. This one,
Okay.
blue and yellow logo, and
Oh,
so basically, like he says, he rolls it. He's got his different levels, and he's got his chemistry on a certain level, his enlarger on another one, and
hmm
basically rolls it into his bathroom because it's the only place he has a loft. So it's
yeah,
the only place where he can avoid light. So
yeah. That's the only thing is I normally because I right now I'm doing it in my I want to convert the garage into my community dark room, but right now I'm using the bathroom downstairs.
Hmm.
So what I've done
okay,
is I've just put some cardboard panel up against the wall, the window. So I do most of my dark room stuff I do it at night when the
Hmm.
yes,
sun goes down, so there's
Hmm.
less light. You don't need it to be absolutely totally positively dark. It's better if it is.
Hmm.
But as long as you're not getting any kind of a direct light,
Right.
slight light leak around the door is not too bad on the on the floor. I throw a towel down at the threshold of the door just
Yeah.
pour couvrir the slot. I have a rubber foam that I put in the door jamb, so when I close the door, it has some kind of a foam too.
Yeah.
You know, the kids love it when I pull the stuff out and we do some darkroom stuff together. They
Awesome.
think it's just magic.
Really is magic.
You know, I
well,
mean it's alchemy basically.
there's no bigger thrill of printing your picture, and you got it in the tray, and you're just moving the tray slowly,
Yeah,
rocking it, and then that picture comes out. I don't know, it's something special, you know?
I can
it is.
imagine. I can't wait to get that feeling, honestly. Like
I was
that.
talking to Jeremy from the group,
Hmm.
What's the club in Montreal that has a dark room?
Oh,
They have like 12 stations.
is it Third Eye Studio?
Is it Third Eye? Yeah, the Troisième Œil.
Hmm.
Okay. Apparently it's going well for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Apparently he told me, he says they usually have 4 to 5 people at a time working at the same time.
oh. Hmm.
You know, I mean, when you talk about the printing part, my wet section is just 3 trays of 8x10. So I have three 8x10 trays, stack not stacked, but set side by side. And then I have in the sink is I have my running water for the wash.
Mhm.
You know.
Oh, it's not something complicated though. Like the way the gentleman who's talking, he has the bathroom. I have basically a work table which is at a certain place, so I'm going to be putting my enlarger on that to keep it
Hmm.
stable and not moving. And then I'm just going to walk basically 8 feet further to where my wife, or my girlfriend, should I say my girlfriend, has the washing machine and the dryer, and I have a tub for water there. So I'll be putting my trays there and ending up to where it has the sink, so it'll be running water, just clean off the paper after, you know.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So the only thing is, I have my son who still lives downstairs, and when he has his computer running with all the lights and the Christmas lights on his computer, but it's kids' computers today. Basically, that's why I have to take a day where he's at work, and being at work, well, I can do what I want, unless I do like AJ, but then I'll have to be putting how do you say, des rideaux and things like that to
Hmm.
Right.
block off the corner to make sure that there's no problem, you know. I
Mhm.
thought of putting in maybe a table and putting the enlarger on that, and I'd be in the same 10 square feet of what I have to do for everything, you know. But like I say, me, it'll be more for pleasure than anything else. So it's like I'll accumulate my films and then I'll print them basically in one day or something like that, you know.
Hmm.
So you shoot multiple films and that.
Right.
So how long have you been? You said you've been shooting for 4 years. Have you always been shooting film, or have you gone digital or gone back, or
So I started digital. I only started shooting film like a year and a half ago, I think.
okay.
AJ, I think, yeah, about a year and a half ago. And I just love making mistakes shooting film because I've just learned so much from, you know, composing, getting your right shutter speed, your aperture and all that. It just allows me to take my time with it. And I think that's what really helped me become a better photographer, honestly.
So Rakim, if I ask you the question, because you're doing film photography, do you find yourself a better digital photographer?
Yes. Yes, I have, especially when it comes to street photography. I've noticed that the way I compose is a lot differently before I started shooting film. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, that's a
Is it because you're more getting more experience, or because the film photography, the expression, you can't make as many mistakes, so you take more time and don't get as many pictures taken, but the quality of that picture, even if it's digital, is better?
yeah, I'd say so. I'd say that because of my experience in shooting with film, it it allowed me to, think before I shoot instead of just shooting and then looking at the photo and saying, "Oh, I'll fix that in post or whatever." I like to get everything in camera, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, as much as
make
you
it
can. Like
exactly.
certain outings, I don't know how many outings you've gone out with AJ, but I like AJ the way people tend to walk around him, and where he's looking, they'll turn around, take a camera, start taking pictures. AJ will just be fuddling with his camera, then he'll move on to something else. I don't know if you've ever seen him
Yeah, no, I've
doing
seen
that.
him. The time
Okay.
we went to it was at the Olympic Stadium when he had
Yes.
Okay.
was this your 4x5 or was it eight
It
by
was my
ten?
4x5. That's right. It was
Yeah.
my 4x5. Yeah.
So basically 4 by 5 pictures, AJ. How many do you take in one outing? 50, 60,
No,
70?
are you? Yeah, right. Are you kidding? I'm lucky if I get two. Well, actually, if I say when I say two, I should say four because I usually always have two film backs with me,
Okay.
Mm.
and a film back has two films on it. So what I'll do is, and I learned this actually from Andre here on the South Shore, Andre Lafort. Um, what I'll do is I'll adjust. I'll take the first shot with the exposure that I planned with my
Mhm.
light meter and all. And then what I'll do is I'll just overexpose the second one just a little bit more to see if I can capture a little bit more detail.
Mm.
Unless I'm going specifically, with reason for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because 4x5 is still quick about $15 a sheet,
Okay.
right? 35 millimeter, and that's the thing is, and even me, my since mainly because I got out of the commissioned photography, meaning event and shooting for other people
Yeah.
with my digital, but my digital photography has gone way down now, way down in the last 2 years since I've been concentrating more on my film photography,
Mm.
and my digital photography is really mostly um even family photos. I don't shoot much digital, I shoot more film. My digital photography is more for my classes because
I,
evidently I have to show the results straight away,
yeah. Well, I
you
have a
know?
question about that actually,
Yeah.
AJ. How do you sell a client on a film session versus
How
a
do you
digital?
mean?
Like, because not everyone knows how a camera works,
Right.
so people will like to have, you take your shot and you can show it to them on the back
Yes.
of the camera.
Right.
But with film, obviously you can't. And so
No.
how would you go and explain to your client, like, look, this is a totally different process. I can't show you the photo right away, obviously. How do you?
Well, no, I make them understand that there's a post processing at the end, which can take up to a week or two for me to get it done,
Right.
and then I'll be able, once I've scanned these images, then you'll be able to get them.
Yeah.
But you know, most people today know that the big difference between film and digital is that film is not instantaneous,
Mhm.
right? And you
Well,
just got to be a little bit more secure in the way that you present. And I know I'm getting a lot more uh demand requests of photographers who come into my classrooms who are established digital photographers who want to get into the film photography.
hmm,
Just in the last month, I think I had three wedding photographers come to me and say, what can I do with the film during my wedding day? And I mostly told them, you know what, my preference would be to do the film photography for the formal portraits.
yeah,
Don't necessarily, well, first of all, it's doable if you have the right equipment. It's doable to shoot film during the reception.
yeah,
Uncle Bob in the 50s when he was shooting weddings, um, he was shooting Kodachrome 64. Um, Luckily, after a certain amount of time, Kodachrome 200 came out. When we talk about, you know, the salle de réception, lumière tamisée, en numérique, you're talking about anywhere between 800 and 1600 ISO, if not 3200 ISO.
right.
But in the back in the film days, you didn't have that. So
Mm,
what you had was, a lot of times we call it Thor's hammer. It was that big Metz. I can't remember the model number, but that big, huge flash that looked like Thor's hammer, right?
yeah,
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 exactly. And it was very doable. I mean, he shot flash during the receptions,
hmm,
um, but it was a very very different style of photography.
right.
A lot of times, what I've been hearing is photographers who do want to integrate film into their event photography. They'll have one shooting always digital, and the one who's most comfortable with the film shooting the film part.
Hmm.
So at least that they have some kind of, but you're talking more like for your portraits?
Yeah, portraits or if yeah,
Portraits in studio, what you got to do is you just got to set yourself up with some kind of a portfolio with just 8, maybe 10 prints.
Okay.
And I'm talking like 8x10s. You don't need bigger than 8x10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This BS with 12x18s and 16x24s. It's too cumbersome to carry around. But
Yeah.
if you can, and plus specifically with 35 millimeter, the moment you enlarge over 8x10, that's where you start to see the grain, which is a little bit less interesting. But then again, today's generation is also looking for that vintage look,
Right.
right? Um, I've been fooling around with, because I'm also I participate every third Monday now with it's a little bit over a year now. I don't know if you guys know the podcast Camerosity. And on
Mhm.
the last episode, they started talking about the famous on
Wow.
Facebook. It's an $80 on AliExpress. It's under $40. It's a little digital 12 megapixel sensor. I think it's 10 or 15 years old as the sensor goes. So
Mm.
basically, you have a color mode and you have a black and white mode, and it blows out the highlights and the shadows exactly like
Mm.
film used to do, or film does in certain instances. So I've been screwing around with it myself. I'm going to write a little review on it because I'm revamping my website and going more towards the actual, photography, and because I'm not doing event anymore.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, um you gotta market it like it. Well, it's kind of like the re-enlightening of the vintage look of film. Nobody ever thought that film would pick up as well as it has picked up.
Mm.
Um, and I, in my heart, truly do think that film's going to be around for quite a long time still.
Yeah.
Um,
You like vinyl?
hopefully,
Like
sorry,
vinyl, AJ.
like vinyl, exactly,
Mm.
It
like vinyl.
slowly disappeared for a while, but it's coming back with a vengeance. And people are, for the vinyl, they're paying excessively
Mm.
what they would have never paid 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And the thing is the younger people today, I have to say, are slightly less impatient. They don't mind waiting a week, or, 3 or 4 days, or, a week and a half. It's the older generation who, my mom, my dad's generation, who, I want to see it. I got to see it. I want to
Yeah.
see it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
We don't
Um,
have as long to live as you young guys.
no, yeah, but I mean, still, it's like, even my daughter, the youngest one, I'll never forget the first time the first time I gave her an Instamatic. Um, I told her, sweetheart, whatever you do, don't open the back of the camera. Take your pictures. When you finish your film next week, Papa is going to bring you. We're going to load it into the tank, and then we'll develop it like Papa does. He's been doing for the few nights that you saw me doing it. What did she do? She took a picture. The first picture, what did she do? She opened the back. And I looked at her. I said, "What are you doing?" She says, "Well, I wanted to see the picture." I says, "You can't see the picture till you develop it." Oh, well, that's boring. I says, "Well, finish the film and then we'll see how boring it is when you actually end up developing it."
Mm.
And then when she understood the process that we have to go through to get to the final image, that blew her away.
Yeah. I can imagine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, the younger 20 somethings, they understand that, because they're also getting, and I'm not an advocate to one is better than the other, okay? Because in many, many, many aspects, digital still does not beat out film, okay? It only beats it out in the category of 135 format film,
Yeah.
because that's what it is based on, okay? But even if you look at a GFX, which is not even a medium format, it's only twice the size of a 35 millimeter, when actual a 6x9 is actually a little more than 3 times the surface area of a 35 millimeter sensor.
Oh, okay. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So look at the GFX and you look at the Hasselblads,
Mm.
they're only twice as big, because evidently to build a sensor that size, it's exorbitant, the
Right.
cost,
Oof.
right? And then you're getting into the 200 megapixels. As a matter of fact, I did the calculation. The GFX 100, I'm not saying that the latest sensor, but the GFX 100 when it came out had the same pixel depth as the Sony A7R5, which is a 62 megapixel sensor. But the pixel depth is the actual size of the pixel. They were the same pixels.
Oh,
so yes, having a sensor size twice as big gives me that much more pixels, but I'm not exceeding what the 35 millimeter 62 megapixel would be giving me light wise.
Does it also give you better dynamic range?
No. Oh. Technically, the dynamic range of sensors have stopped at maximum 15 stops. Okay. And that hasn't, and you know, who knows? Maybe it's because, you know, we just don't have that. Maybe we need to invent a new element to be able to capture more light. And don't forget, dynamic range is just how much nuance or gradation from color to color, from shadow to shadow, to get that uniform look from one color to the next, right? But then again, when you're looking at a photo, are you looking at the dynamic range of the sensor?
No.
Right? It's see, the big deterrent in digital photography, sorry, is that because it's a digital image, the interim between the actual photo and the printer is a screen, right?
Yeah.
Now, we don't have 24 megapixel screens. Typically on my right, I have a 4K screen, which is only 8 megapixels. And on my laptop, I have a full HD, which is actually just a 2 megapixel screen. But I'm processing 24 and 36 and 45 and 50 and 100 megapixel images. So when you press that magnifying glass, all you're doing is on your screen enlarging pixel for pixel the size of the pixel from your sensor to the size of the pixel to your screen. So yes, you're looking further into the photo. But when you print it, you're looking at the full image.
Right.
And it's the full image that is the image that you should be looking at, not the details on what we call the pixel peeper.
Yeah.
You know, grossi, voir à quel point je peux voir dans la fin fond de la photo. When you print it to that 16 by 24, you're not going to see that little tiny detail in the forest that's 1,000 feet away. You're not going to see it. So why would you emphasize that? Well, evidently, when it comes to marketing and it comes to engineering, it's the numbers that count.
Yeah. The bigger the number?
Bigger the number, the better the image. But do we see the difference? That's the question we got to ask ourselves.
Right.
Right? I mean, I always look for sharpness in an image. I will zoom in to 100%. I never normally pass 100%. I'll never do it 200% because I know my pixels are 200. They're 2 times bigger now. So that's the other thing too, is a lot of people will when it comes to digital photography, choose to have a larger sensor because, oh, now I can crop farther into the image, enlarge my subject.
Yeah.
But then they ask, why is it blurry? Well, because you're still enlarging the pixel. It's exactly the same thing happening with an enlarger. Taking a 35 millimeter, trying to make a 16 by 24. Now you're seeing the grain in the film. Because you're looking at it at a resolution that exceeds the quality of that medium you use to capture the image.
Right.
I know I always sound like I'm preaching when it I'm sorry.
Oh, not at all.
Preaching.
You're a grumpy old photographer.
Hey?
You're a grumpy old photographer.
That's right. I'm an old dinosaur. I'm an old dinosaur. But
see, Rakim is polite because he didn't ask me who that was in the background. But
I was gonna ask eventually, but
it's my bodyguard. So like that, if AJ insults my pictures, I send them over. No, he's basically a mannequin I used when I was starting off in photography again because setting up my lights, people would get tired. Well,
Mm.
he never complained. So with the price I'm paying, and I have my Olympus OM10 on him, so it's like
Nice.
because this was supposed to be more about film discussion than digital, so that's why I put it on him.
Is he wearing a beret?
Yeah, well, it's because I want to take a picture and I was setting up the basically a test on the picture I want to do
Mm.
before having two friends come over and take the picture because I wanted to have it in oh geez, là, j'ai un blanc de mémoire.
Self-portrait.
No, it's not self-portrait. How do you say old movies from 1920? I did a couple of pictures like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh geez, yeah. It's on the Facebook
Yeah, it's
retro, a retro
yeah, well, retro lighting where you're using
noir,
hard light, film noir.
film noir. That's it.
Okay. It's an old techniques when you're taking a look at the Maltese Falcon and all these things. And I wanted to have these two models, one in back of the other. And I wanted to have what the image would look like if you would put one and have the other person in back, but focus on the person in back more than the person in front. Basically, I saw a scene in the television series Breaking Bad. The scene just flashed for a few seconds, and I go, wow, I could change that and do it at film noir style. And it would look really good, as in if you had two very old, a spy or a hoodlum or something like that look, you know? So
Hmm.
that's the plan. That's why he's dressed that way. He's supposed to be how do you say a 1920 hoodlum, you know, from England. Tetlekek. Uh,
Love it.
Rakim, if you go down to YouTube and you look for Minimalist Dark Room Part 2, you'll have the gentleman I'm talking about who has his enlarger on a metal tray with everything else, and he sort of explains it. Um, the video is from the Art of Photography.
Oh, I see it.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of movies, guys, if you want, I just recently on Amazon Prime, I
Hmm?
watched oh my God, now I forgot the name. It's with Johnny Depp.
Yes,
Um,
Oh,
Minamota? Is it
yes,
Minamota? It's
sounds
in
like that. Yeah,
Japan. Yeah. He plays W. Eugene Smith, who is
oh,
a photojournalist. It was such a beautiful
that's
movie.
good.
Oh, it was really good.
yes,
It's a tearjerker because evidently it's all about this town in China that
Japan.
there or Japan, sorry, that the river was poisoned with industrial chemicals.
Hmm.
So evidently the population of the town, they all had mercury poisoning. Um and it's basically it's him documenting that for Life magazine.
Oh,
It was really a good, it was really a good film. And that evidently my favorite is Kodachrome with what's the American actor there? Har oh man, what's his name?
You're better off with names than I am.
Harrison? No, not Harrison. Yeah, is it? No, not George. I got George Harrison. That's the Beatles. What's his name? Uh, oh man.
not George Harrison.
No, no. Have to Kodachrome movie. It's with, come on, Ed Harris.
Oh, yeah.
Ed Harris and Jason Sudeikis and Elizabeth Olsen. It was that one.
Mr.
It's
Robot.
not about the story of Steve McCurry, but he plays a photojournalist like kind of in the style of Steve McCurry.
Okay.
But that was a good movie too. That one there was basically a street, not a street, but a photojournalist who had the last two Kodachrome films, or four, I think in the movie has four roles. And I don't want to give it away, but he gets his son to drive him to the last photo lab in the country, processing the Kodachrome film.
Oh, wow.
And they've reached the end of their chemistry, and he's got to get there before a certain date so that he can get it processed. And it turns out to be photos, family photos of him, his wife, and his and the son,
Wow.
which they'd never seen before. So, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
Wow.
Kodachrome, if you don't know, Kodachrome is the film. It was a slide film, and it 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 became the color film that was most um representative of the colors we see.
Huh.
It was Kodak's best film ever.
Why
Yeah.
did they stop producing it? Was it because of the toxicity of
Yeah, it was the toxicity of the process, because that particular film, and just in case, the book, the guide that I have with my class, I put the whole history of Kodachrome in it.
Awesome.
What it was a 19-step process, and three of the steps were cancerous chemicals that Kodak in 2000, I believe they discontinued in 2009. They could not replace that chemistry with something that was more ecological, um, for the environment. So they had to literally um, discontinue it, which was sad. But I mean, they replaced it with Ektachrome, um, which is a little bit bluer. Kodachrome was a bit redder. And then evidently you also had Fujifilm, which was it wasn't the Superior though. It was what was their better film? I think it was the Pro Image. No, that's Kodak. Kodak,
Yeah,
but Fuji also had a can't remember what it was.
something similar.
Superior was what we use now,
Hmm.
which is basically the same equivalent as Kodak Gold. Kodak Gold was Monsieur, Madame, Tout le Monde. You could
Yeah,
find it in the pharmacies. You could find it at Canadian Tire. You could find it, the more professional films like Kodachrome and Tri-X and T-Max and Portra and all that stuff there, you'd find mostly in the camera shops.
right. Yeah.
But there were, Superior was Fuji's equivalent to Kodacolor, which was the Ultramax and the what was the 400? No, the 400 is the Ultramax. The 200 is the uh the Kodacolor. I believe it's Kodacolor. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
What film do you prefer, Rakim?
Um,
What's your go-to film?
400D.
400D.
Sinister,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Hey, nice. That's the Cinestill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I really enjoy that. The colors, just the overall dynamic of the
Yeah.
film is great. It's really good. I actually shot Tri-X for the first time a few weeks
Okay.
ago.
Yeah.
That was interesting. I was kind of blown away by how that film looked.
The differences are that Tri-X compared to T-Max, Tri-X is the cubic grain, which is the traditional grain.
Okay.
Then in the mid 80s, Ilford and Kodak both um, went back to the drawing board and Kodak came up with the T-Max and Ilford came up with the Delta Pro, which was more of a triangular grain.
Right.
And the idea was that because of the form of the grain, they fit better together, so it made for the same sensitivity, but it kind of gave it a less crunchier look
Yeah.
than the cubic grain.
Uh, like I noticed a lot of details
Yeah,
in the shadows,
exactly.
especially. Yeah.
My preference in Kodak is the Tri-X over the T-Max, and it's still in the Ilford, the FP and the HP over the Deltas.
Hmm.
I just find that the Deltas are just a little too, too crunchy type, It is
Hmm.
a finer grain, but I find it a little bit, too fine.
Right. Right.
But again,
It,
it's what your eye is used to.
right. Et toi,
When I
Marc?
was when I was in school, I was using AGFA. What was
Oh,
that? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna ask Mark that. What was his?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can ask. I haven't used I haven't used that much. So basically, no, I'm gonna rediscover everything. I'm trying to remember in CJEP what I used, and I think it was Ilford, but I can't tell you which one.
Yeah.
Um,
Mark, I gave you a T-Max here.
yeah, I
This is a
think.
Kodak T-Max.
Okay, no, that one that was film that I bought, AJ.
Oh, this is not the one I gave you?
No, I
Didn't
still
I
have
give
it
you
on the
one?
shelf. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to see if my camera works well.
Oh, you haven't even exposed it yet?
Ben, those are the pictures. Those are the pictures.
Man.
That's why I'm waiting.
Jeez. I put
The,
film in
the his,
any one of my cameras.
Ben, no, Mrs. So the history of the camera here, but used to belong was sorry. Let's take time, think, and then articulate. The camera belongs to my girlfriend.
Okay.
Okay, and throughout the life that she used it, a couple of times there was shutter problems.
Okay.
But when I did some research, I found out that when you loaded a film, if you kept the cap on, it would play with the camera. Okay. So she had it send it to Olympus to have the problem rectified a couple of times.
Okay.
The camera always came back with no default camera functioning properly.
Okay.
Me, it would take a couple of terms, a couple of the déclenchement before things rolled the way it was supposed to, because it
Okay.
gave the impression that there was a drag in the shutter.
Okay.
It gave you the feeling of that. So that's why when I sort of put a film before and I tested it, but I can't find the negative that I did that. I
Okay.
went downtown and I took a couple of pictures. The pictures that they have a statue of a lady holding a dog. I
Yeah.
can't
Oh
remember. Tu
yes.
sais, c'est que dans le coin financier, là, puis tout le
Ouais.
Right.
kit. I took a picture of that. It seemed to function well. So, but I was waiting with the film, the roll of
Place
film that
d'armes.
you have that. Huh?
Place d'armes.
Yeah, c'est ça, à Place d'Armes.
Yeah.
Mais le rouleau de film que tu as en arrière de toi, c'est celui-là que j'ai vraiment là, été, puis j'ai été essayer des affaires hors de l'habituel, puis j'ai vraiment poussé la caméra pour voir.
Okay.
Puis comme je t'avais expliqué, je pensais que la caméra avait mal chargé le film, so I opened the back of the camera.
Oh,
But
okay.
in a very dark place to notice that the film was in the camera the way it was supposed to be.
Okay.
Puis, Rakim, the history is my mom passed away, and the last pictures I've taken from her are in that film. So that's
Oh,
why I asked AJ to process it because I know that he'll take his time. He'll try to do everything that he can, the most to try to get the most out of that film. Say.
yeah.
So
Wow. I mean, I
that's
Put
why
hope.
more
he's.
pressure on me there, Mark. Put more
Yeah,
pressure
yeah, I
on
know.
me.
That's why I'm saying,
Goodness.
c'est,
Wow.
I'm gonna be scared of that film now.
ben non, mais regarde, like I said, c'est qu'est-ce qui arrive, c'est à moi à pas ouvrir
No,
la
no, I
fenêtre
get
de la
the pull.
caméra, tu sais.
You'd be
Et-
surprised, honest to God, you would be surprised what the latitude of film is compared to digital.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I've got, I haven't showed you, but I have here my glass plates. If I can get it out without making everything else fall in it here, hold on. Ah. So I have to get back into it, but practicing dry plate, right?
okay.
Dry plate is the step after the original collodion wet plate. So wet plate is you take the glass or metal, you pour your emulsion on it, or which is the gelatin. You put the gelatin, the loaded plate with gelatin into silver nitrate for 3 minutes. The gelatin absorbs the silver salts, and then in the camera you put it in wet. You expose it, but you got to develop it, and you only have 10 minutes because should the plate dry, you lose the image. You lose the latent image.
Okay.
So then they came up with, after that, dry plate. But just to show you, This was a dry plate I shot of my buddy Andre. I don't know if you guys can actually see any image in it.
We can
Something.
partially. Do you have a piece of paper, white or
Oh,
black?
actually, yeah, good idea. Hold on.
Hey, it happens once in a while. I have good ideas.
Hold on. A good idea. So if I put it this way,
Oh, there you go.
okay, you see the image?
Yeah.
But yeah.
You see it? Okay. So keep that in mind. And I don't want to scratch it, so I'll put it back in here. I will show you the actual, where is my, I posted it on Facebook on my group for, where is it? Montreal, no, not pinhole, large format. So let me share that. Right. Right. Here. That's the image. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I forgot to share it. So this is the image I came out with after I scanned it.
Ah,
Oh, I remember
okay.
this photo.
Hey,
I've seen this one before.
you've seen that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first time I see it.
But that image was or is from, you guys can't see me, can you?
I
Yeah,
can
we
see
can
it.
see you.
You see me?
Yeah.
So that image comes from this glass plate.
What do you
Hmm.
use when you're scanning? Do you put it with a white or a black background?
Oh no.
Is it a negative?
This is a negative, right?
Okay.
But I use my flatbed scanner that I take off. It has a light on the top.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have white. So I gotta flip it back to put the positive afterwards.
Okay.
So I actually scanned it in negative. And if I show you this one here, you'll notice how dark.
Oh yeah.
You see how dark that image is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So basically the term would say that this negative is denser than the other one.
Yes.
Okay.
Which means that this one here is overexposed.
Uh,
And this is the image
oh wow.
that I just showed you.
Okay.
Because evidently it's all snow. So when I show
Uh,
you this, that's where the black,
what? That's
right?
so. I I thought it'd be the opposite. Wait, what?
No, of course. No,
Okay.
because when you enlarge, like when you put it in the enlarger, right? Your paper is your white. So you
Oh,
have to block the light so that it doesn't expose the paper
right.
so that you
Right.
keep your snow,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You got to think upside
No,
down.
no, it's okay. No, it's
Sorry.
because we so don't, you know, there there still, no matter what, are fewer dark rooms. Unless people are, it has come back. It has gotten more popular, yes. Um, but we're
You're gonna have
just
to
so
adjust
not
your image,
used to it.
AJ.
Hey,
Okay. You're gonna
yeah,
have to adjust your image.
there you go. Is that better?
Mm,
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying? We're so used to always working our images on the computer and from a positive image. We don't, it's like Melissa when she came over, I told her, I says, well, if you're going to Europe, why don't you try shooting? It's much more expensive, but try shooting slide. I don't know if she did because I had to run to a class to give a class, but I
mm,
told her, I says, try slide to see what it's like. But I said, if you do try slide, remember that here you're not exposing for the shadows, you're exposing for the highlights. So
right.
it's better in slide to always underexpose
Mm,
by, -1 if you want.
sure.
Not much more. I wouldn't go much more over that. But the latitude in film is so much bigger than that of digital because it's a thicker emulsion.
Hmm.
And it comes from the density of emulsion that we don't have that kind of density in digital.
Right. Someday.
Someday. And worst comes to worst, like I said to Melissa, when I get my setup over here, Rakim, you're always welcome over here. Mark's always welcome over here, but Mark jumped the gun and went and got one.
It fell from the sky.
There you go. Those are the best gifts.
Yes, yes.
Those are
Honestly,
always the best gifts.
Yeah.
so, hey, Rakim, when you take your film photography, do you overexpose your film every time, or do you use basically the center notch on your light meter?
Uh, I've been leaning on the slightly overexposed, which is because I have this. Hold on. I have this light meter that's basically just like so.
Okay.
And
Oh
it has
yeah.
like the plus or negative, and I tend to lean on the plus.
That's
Which,
the TTR. That's the TTR design, right?
no, that's the Domo. I picked
Oh,
it
the
up at
Domo. Okay, because it looks exactly like my TTR design. Okay.
yeah, I've seen it. It's almost the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do tend to lean to overexpose with film usually.
Because
Uh,
that's something I didn't do before. Now I would know about it because
yeah,
of some research and things like that.
yeah,
But usually I would, the light meter that I have in the OM10, basically it tells me the speed and it makes the calculation. But it's like I tended to always expose at the speed that I'm supposed to. So
right.
now knowing this, I'll probably get more detailed in my photography from the
And
dark.
another advantage to film photography is that you can expose you have what we call box speed. So if I have the HP5 and I'm shooting at a 400, it's because it's a 400 ISO, but there's nothing specifically. It's much easier to do it with black and white than it is with color.
Mm,
Because color, you have to modify the temperatures, rather black and white, you just modify your times. So basically what's happening is let's say I take a 400 and I want to shoot night photography. Well, I'll
mm,
expose it at 1600 or 3200. Actually, just so that you know,
Pushing and
the
pulling.
yeah,
it's called push and pull, yeah.
Okay, now I
And
still don't have all the principles of it. I understand, but I still don't have all the principles of it.
well, think of it this way, specifically with a black and white film. When you raise the ISO, right, on your camera,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Exposing longer.
Shorter.
No.
Yes.
If I have a 400 and I double it to
No, no,
180.
no, 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 no. I'm talking about a shutter speed.
Okay.
yeah,
Shutter
yeah.
speed. You're exposing it for a shorter amount of time,
Yeah.
right? So what happens is when you develop it, you have to put it in the developer for a longer amount of time.
Mm.
And one of the reactions to the grain is that the grain is going to gonfle. It's going to expand
Well, yeah.
because you're developing it for a longer time. If I
Mm.
pull, so if I take a 400 and I expose it at 200, what's happening is my shutter speeds are getting longer. So I'm exposing the film for a longer period of time, but I'm shortening the exposure. Sorry, I'm shortening the development.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. In color film, all films, whatever the ISO grade, they pass in the chemistry at the same time for the same duration. Okay. So typically the development process, like for instance, remember when I did the film festival,
Mm.
I had a C41.
Mm.
I believe I had two rolls of film in there. I had one at 200 ISO, one at 400 ISO, but the actual
Yeah,
process was only 8 minutes,
right.
right? But it was two different ISOs
Mm.
because in color film, the grain is really in the film.
I
So the
see.
difference is that if I decide to push or pull on a color film, then I have to modify the temperatures.
Yeah.
I'm not personally d'accord aligned with lomography where many of their color films they'll say, Well, this film, you can shoot it at 100 or 400 ISO. What they're going for is basically underexposing and overexposing your film, which creates different colorization. But to truly pull and push a film in color, your lab has to be able to modify, has to be able to modify the temperatures of the chemistry in the machine, which is a much longer process. And typically what happens is you can scrap your chemistry faster because you're playing too much with your chemistry.
Right.
Right. When you're doing it at home, because a machine, if ever you come to pass by, like Rakim, if you ever visit Gosselin in Montreal, ask Naomi to see what the Frontière looks like. It's this huge, big mechanical machine that is actually a mechanical darkroom. That machine is constantly evaporating water, right?
Right.
So what happens is if you heat your chemistry for a duration, you're evaporating the water faster. You have to replenish it quicker. Otherwise, your chemistry becomes more concentrated or less concentrated.
Right.
So for a lab, it's a little bit harder when it comes to pushing and pulling color film, unless they have no problem, or usually they'll have like an extra running machine, which that one they'll use to cool down or warm or overheat the chemistry. While the main processing machine always stays at the same temperature. But I mean, these are little things that, you learn on the way type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I was sorry.
Okay. I have a question there.
Yeah, was it?
If I go back to a black and white film,
yeah,
and ASA or ISO,
ISO, yeah,
if we say it, the old terms or the new terms,
right,
is a 400.
Yeah.
And I'm going into a place where it's very bright sunlight. Can I pull it by just turning the knob of my camera? How do you put? Can you use the film 400 and go someplace dark, take pictures, and then go someplace bright and just play
Not
with
on the
it?
same film.
Yeah, I was just saying that.
Not on the same film.
Okay, because that's what I'm asking. Those are the things that didn't make sense to me
When you push
before.
and pull is because, let's say, for instance, I'm shooting night photography and all I have is a 400 ISO.
Okay, so it's beginning
What
to
I
the
need
end
to
of the
do is
film.
I need to expose the whole roll at 1600.
Okay.
Actually, I got to check it in my book, but the two films of 3200 ISO black and white that Ilford and Kodak make, I believe the Kodak one is actually 1000 ISO, but they're pushing it to 3200 in exposure and development.
Okay.
And the equivalent 3200 in Ilford is actually an HP5 being pushed to 3200.
Okay.
It's really, yeah, it's
Those are concepts that I've never learned in CJEP.
oh,
So it's
absolutely.
like,
Well, yeah, but because don't forget though, too, even on a 3-year course in CJEP, you don't have time to see everything.
Yeah, there's only so much.
You know what I mean? It's like me with my classes, sometimes I feel bad because I only have 3 hours with the class. Even like now I just started a new, we have a series of 6 classes called Technique de Base, where it's over 6 nights. There are 5 nights of theory in class, and the 6th night is an actual excursion that we do, commence vers le coucher de soleil, right into the night, so that we can get really variations of light, so that the students can practice, in that 3-hour outing. But sometimes even that 18 hours broken up into 6 classes, it's not enough. I wish I could give them more. I wish I could, because sometimes, evidently, you always get 1 or 2 students that at the end of the night, it's like, oh my God, 3 hours straight of theory and practice and this and that. It's
yeah,
ils sont saturés là, tu sais.
a
And
lot
even
of
if you tell people, email me if you have questions, and direct message me if you have questions. It says people don't want to bother you. It's like, no, don't worry. Je t'ai donné mes courriels, mes contacts sur les réseaux sociaux so that you use it. I mean, I personally, and I don't like what I love about Bière et Camera Montréal is the fact that I can completely shed that robe of formateur and just enjoy shooting with and even with RDP when I'm, mind you, RDP knows me more as le formateur chez Gosselin. So, they're always and it listen, I'm not, please, I'm not criticizing, anybody. I'm just saying that in the last 2 years with Bière et Camera Montréal, what it's given me is more of a just to shoot together with people who have a who have a like passion as mine. Whether they're more knowledgeable or less knowledgeable has nothing to do with it. I just get to, and
Take
you guys, I
pictures.
mean, you guys know me. I love talking.
Yeah,
Je suis très jaseuse. Tu sais, je veux dire,
you get to enjoy it.
yeah, I enjoy talking about it. And, as a matter of fact, I just finished, I haven't posted our last outing, in August,
Yeah.
only because I'm writing the article on that Fujifilm
Oh,
X
yeah.
and I don't want to release the photos before I put my
Yeah.
article on my website
Oh, man.
because it's kind of like my first gear,
Mm,
article type thing. Uh, but bientôt je vais les poster pour montrer qu'est-ce que ça donnait.
yeah.
Because somebody, who was it? François, I think it was François Zouzou on Instagram asked me. He posted a couple of shots that he shot of me in the messages. And he asked me, he says, what about your shots? I want to see what your shots came out as. And I told him, I says, as soon as I finish my article, I'm going to send them out to everybody. Don't worry about it.
Mm, right.
Guys, we've already hit the 2 hour mark.
Already?
Already.
Jesus.
Barouette.
Wow.
Look at that. It's 10:15.
Oh my goodness.
Uh, I think it'd be a good time to kind of close down a bit.
No problem.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you both spending time with me. I love talking photography. I love this.
Mm,
Now this is the first one of the season, so it's going to happen every month now, regularly. Summer was a little bit busy for me too. That's why I kind of postponed. Was it from since May? I think I had postponed them. But now that we're back on, I'm back on track now. I've got a few events coming up, mind you. I'm going to be in Gatineau in October. Gosselin's hosting a vintage camera purchase event.
cool.
I can't remember. I gotta check the dates, and I'll post the dates up on the groups and
Okay.
on the Insta. Tomorrow I'm going to be screwing around with the Digi. Actually, I'm going to be screwing around with it for part of the week too, just to get used to it. Um, for even posting, and I've been using Hollyland. Gracious Hollyland has lent me microphones for my posts on so the lapel mics, they're
Oh,
lapel,
those are
Oh,
cool.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
you know. And the rep, I know the rep very well. He's allowed me to try these for a couple of weeks. So I'll be posting more on Insta too at the same time.
Nice.
Um, but I really want to thank you guys for participating.
No
Yeah.
problem. It was a
Thanks for
pleasure,
inviting
and
us.
I got to meet Rakim there officially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next month
If
it'll
I
be the
ever go
first.
for a walk with Bière et Caméra,
I'll let you
at
know when the
least I'll
next
know
date is.
someone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And the next one's going to be on October 4th.
Unfortunately, this weekend coming up, I'll be going in Quebec for a family event. And on I believe October 3rd is the vernissage
Oh,
for
for
me,
RDP.
Fab, and I believe Uncle Bob is in there. So you're going to
Okay.
be officially hooked to go down.
Absolutely.
If you're ever interested, Rakim, it's going to be 8,000 Gouin Est in Pointe-aux-Trembles.
Okay.
It's street photography, and we're gonna have our vernissage. You have 11 photographers exposing 4 pictures each.
Exhibiting.
Exhibiting. I know. So, I'll
8,000
never, I'll
going
never,
west.
I'll never get through that one. Puis, alors c'est ça, là, c'est cette sortie-là. And I'm supposed to go back for birthdays, 75th anniversary for one of my aunts in Quebec City with a
Okay.
cousin who's 60 at the same time. So
Wow.
So I'll be moving around quite a couple of times, you know.
So in November, it'll be on the 3rd Saturday.
Okay.
So then from there on, it'll be the round table will be the 3rd Saturday, and the Facebook group review will be the last Friday. So that one I'm going to keep on the last Friday. And
Okay.
Rakim, if ever, in case Facebook, it's called Photography with AJ.
Okay.
People just share their images, and we gather up and discuss the images that were shared on the group.
Okay, cool.
In case that ever interests you.
Yeah, no, that would.
And I wanted to mention though, wasn't there some kind of an event, street photography event in Montreal this weekend?
Is it the MS quelque
Yeah.
chose?
What is that?
Why? It's some kind of street art exhibit, I guess.
Oh, it's an
Um,
exhibit.
yeah, I saw people posting about it today, but
Yeah, I know. I saw something pop up on Instagram about it.
oh, I
I'll try to catch it next time around.
yeah, same.
Alrighty. So,
All right.
guys, you have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful month of photography. Looking forward to this, hopefully doing another Bière et Camera for September.
Yeah,
My eyes open there for Francis to see. We got to get Francis on here. Is what we got to
I
do.
know he has to come up on here.
He's got to come on. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
Seriously.
Well,
Tell
you
me about
have
it.
a friend of ours, Luco.
What?
You go,
When
yeah.
I sent him a message, unfortunately, he was stuck working, and he's probably watching us from a distance while he's working. So we'll say hi to him.
Salut,
And
Luco.
he's saying he's missing because he hasn't been here in a while. So he's due.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he's also a member of Bière et Camera Montréal.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I wish you guys a wonderful week again, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you again.
No problem.
All right,
Take care,
guys.
guys.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good night.
Ciao.
See ya.
I'm gonna let the stream end. Oh wait, I gotta cancel that.